This jacket, boys don't really get it. I've been called Henry VIII in it. I've been called Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. And this one, I wore it for my first ever day filming made in Chelsea. Sunglasses, just cool. These are my first pair of Jimmy Choos. I found them in a car boot sale for £100. Another good secondhand buy are these insane Saint Laurent boots, and they're actually Ellie Goulding's. I don't believe in playing it safe. Even if you make a fashion mistake, it makes for a fantastic story. Hi, I'm Eliza Batten. I'm the co-founder of the Cirkel, which is a resale platform for women's wear, and today I'm going to take you through some of my favourite pieces in my wardrobe. If I had to describe my style in 3 words, it would be elevated, timeless, and eclectic. I feel it's often how I wake up. That can really change from sort of quite East London and then the next day very Parisian chic. What I really gravitate towards is beautiful items that stand the test of time and make me feel fantastic. I've always loved shopping secondhand. I think it comes from my mum. She's always been a big secondhand shopper. Actually, these were my mum's. They are a sort of horsehair, zebra, pointy toe, kitten heel. We used to take them to dressing up days at school and it says, "Batten, please return." My mum bought this jacket from a second-hand shop in Battersea. It's an original 80s piece. It's actually by Balmain. Similar to the boots, they did once belong in a dressing up box. On Main Chelsea, for the event days, they're often themed, and one of them was the 80s themed. So I said to Mum, "Do you have anything 80s I can wear?" And out came this jacket. It was perfect. That was probably 6 years ago. Now I wear it the whole time. It's always a showstopper. I get so many compliments. It has this necktie which is designed to be worn like so, but actually scarf neckties are really in at the moment, so I have been styling it like this, which is very chic. It's kind of iconic. I'm so glad Mum kept it. I'm really good at having a bit of a conveyor belt in and out, but there are some cult pieces that will just stay here forever. This jacket, for example, which is Ulla Johnson, I love it. Boys don't really get it. I've been called Henry VIII in it. I've been called Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, but I get a fantastic reception from women, so it's one of my favourites. These trousers are a satiny barrel leg by Marlene Berger, bit of a mouthful. I got them in the Net-a-Porter sale and I actually had them tailored to fit me perfectly, and I think that is something really important to remember. Tailoring can really elevate a piece. And then on my feet I've got these very classic and timeless second-hand Chanel shoes. Being the co-founder of a resale platform means that I shop predominantly from my own platform. I don't spend a penny of my salary anymore on clothes, so all the funds that come and support my shopping addiction comes from clothes I've sold, and that is why I really got into secondhand in the first place. One of my earliest fashion memories was Cheryl Cole Fight for This Love in 2009, iconic. And she wore this military jacket. Obviously then all the high streets copied her. I still really like a bit of military-inspired jackets. And this one, funnily enough, it's Zara. I got it on eBay for about £5 to £10, and I wore it for my first ever day filming made in Chelsea. And actually that day I scooted to set and then was put into a chauffeured Rolls Royce and sort of spun around the square a few times before proceeding to come out and bump into someone. And then actually Sophie Herman, who I was filming with, asked me if my jacket was couture, which made my day. Right. Let's show you my biggest splurge. Come this way. We didn't walk very far. Nearly 2 years ago, I took the plunge and bought myself a classic 24-karat gold-plated hardware Chanel flat bag from 1994. This is a pure investment piece for me. 2 years before starting the Cirkel, they were selling for about £2,500. We are now selling these for £4,500 minimum. She is beautiful and she's such a classic. They will never go out of fashion. They're totally timeless. Another good second-hand buy are these insane Saint Laurent boots, and they're actually Ellie Goulding's. She's a seller at the Cirkel. So I copped these and they are awesome. Imagine wearing Ellie Goulding's boots to Glastonbury. That would be cool. So now I am wearing my everyday staples. This t-shirt is by COS. It washes really well and I really like the shape, boxy fit. Now to the fun part. This is how I dress up an outfit. I'm gonna start off with this. It's from an Austrian brand called Splurge, and then because the jacket itself is quite quiet, we can go with a louder bag. I think vintage Louis Vuitton with these kind of 90s inspired frames by Le Specs. Whoa. I love suede. I mean, it's so fun. This is by the brand Redone. I like the idea, actually, of doing it with a similarly Western-inspired bag. This one is by Isabel Marant. Sunglasses. I think I would be tempted to go with some Taylor Morris tortoiseshell ones. Just cool. This jacket is a vintage Alberta Ferretti piece. And then I think bag-wise, I've got this kind of precariously hanging from a nail. This is a vintage Bottega Veneta that I found on a resale platform. I think I managed to get it for £200, which I was really happy with. Sunglasses, I'm gonna go for a simple metallic frame. These are by Taylor Morris. I think it works then with the vintage jacket. Obviously I'm biased and the Cirkel is by far my favourite place to shop, but I promise I don't steal everything. A lot goes online. Other places I love, there are some boutiques that take you from Sloane Square in Chelsea up to Harrods. There are some really good second-hand places for slightly higher end items. And there's a couple of really good charity shops near me in Fulham along the North End Road. This is me in my final outfit, and this is something I wear when I need to be a bit smarter. And I've worn this to a plethora of events. Christmas Eve dinner, PR events, parties. It makes me feel really elevated. This set is by Serena Butte, and they are very famous for their shirt and trouser combos. I love it so much, and I feel so good in this sort of outfit that I have this set in 3 different colourways. This lovely cream set with what my boyfriend says is the West Ham colours down the side. This is very loud. I have worn this to birthday parties where it's a sort of black tie-ish event but in a London restaurant, so you don't want to go in a ball gown. And then lastly, this neon blue version with the incredible yellow racing stripes down the side. And actually I've been known to mix and match the pinks and the blues. On certain days when you really want to go for it with the colour, it's quite fun. But this one I tend to wear more casually, untucked, with trainers. Serena Butte sets are a bit of an investment. I'm definitely getting my cost per wear out of them. But what you can do to get the same impact is just try and find silky shirts and trousers of the same colour. And I promise you, when you put those together, you just feel so much more elevated. I feel most confident going to smarter events in a trouser and a shirt, or a blazer or a suit. Just always in trousers, probably because I don't shave my legs enough. Dresses for me are typically reserved for weddings. And then shoes. These are my first pair of Jimmy Choos, and I found them in a car boot sale, and I managed to get them for £100, brand new in their box, current season for £8.95. In terms of favourite designers, I have a real range, but I do gravitate towards those boho chic brands. The Isabel Marants, the C. New Yorks, the Ulla Johnsons, the Doens, really sort of feminine and pretty, big shoulders, very 60s inspired. I don't believe in playing it safe because I think even if you make a fashion mistake, it makes for a fantastic story or picture. And I think the same goes for life. All mistakes or dreadful dates or silly muck-ups make for fantastic stories. You can look very cool and have really incredible pieces without costing the planet.